Roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Carr.
Here.
Councilmember Panduro is absent. Councilmember Santu.
Here.
Councilmember Tonneson.
Here.
Councilmember Williams.
Here.
Vice Mayor Bertani.
Here.
And Mayor Moy.
I am here.
Thank you.
And tonight, our invocation will be presented by Pastor David Cobb of the Love Community. Come on up, Pastor.
And also Fairfield CAN member.
Hi,
Pastor Cobb.
Sir.
Good evening, everyone, to Mayor Moy, Vice Mayor Bertani, to all of the city officials and the council. Thank you for this opportunity. Let us pray. Most High God, we lift up our city to you as we come before you, and our city officials. Bless them, lead and guide them. Speak to them in a conspicuous voice that is clear and distinct. Bless their households and grant them peace. Take hold of your shield and buckler as we summon the heavenly angels of this city to protect them on every side. Bless all the departments that serve this city, the police, the fire department, schools, hospitals, and the like. Most High, we need resources, financial to be specific. Send them in from the four corners of the earth. Look upon all our families, the elderly, the young adults, teens, and children. Protect them also. Now as we meet, I pray that your presence, which brings peace, permeate this place as we reason together. I pray this prayer in the name of Jesus, your Christ, my Lord, and our Savior. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much. And Madam Vice Mayor, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
My distinct honor, please stand and salute the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we're going to go ahead and turn to council reports and start with Councilwoman Williams tonight, please.
Thank you, Mayor, colleagues, everyone. Just pulling up a note here. So I've been getting a lot of calls about trash. So I'm hoping that we'll get, more background information or what have you. But I wanted to make sure that I included in my report that Cordelia Park is the place for pickup. We've been getting notifications that it is Wednesday. I know that I just passed by Cordelia Park on my way here, and the dumps were already full. So I'm wanting to know kind of, what's next as far as pickups for tomorrow. Are they still on or not? So that's a question I have. But in the meantime, better than calling me is to call Republic Services. So I'm going to give that number for anyone that's online and can hit the replay. But 707-437-8900 to call Republic Services directly. Also, just a few pointers. When you're dropping off, do not drop off bulk. This is not for bulk. Do not put trash and plastic bags and then sit them on side of your trash bins. Rodents can't get into the trash bins, but they can scratch through plastic. So if you can avoid that, because that's something I'm very nervous about, seeing so much trash and plastic bags on the side. I just don't want an explosion of rodents and, eating and having babies and that type of thing. And so I just know that we just, this is a tough time, but we can get through this. So that's one. The other thing that I wanted to announce that's kind of district specific, is a date and place and time has been set for the North Cordelia LLMD. If you're wondering if you live in North Cordelia, transfer that North Cordelia to Green Valley. So if you're in Green Valley, you may be, you probably are within an LLMD. If this is something you're interested in, I want to give you a date and a time. July 29th, which is Tuesday, from 5 to 7 at the Fairfield Corporate Yard, 420 Gregory Lane, the large conference room. You know, I skipped saying under our trash update, I just wanted to say thank you to Mayor Moy and to Councilman member Scott Tonneson, and also our Planning Commissioner, George Kennedy. They put out a call to action that they would help seniors and folks that were, you know, interabled. They would go and, you know, put your name and information into a database, and they would go and pick up their trash for them. And I just want to say a public thank you for doing that. Just seeing it just moved me. And then seeing pictures of you all moving me. And first I was like, they didn't call me. And then I was like, I'm probably not the best. I'm a little too wussy for those type of things with back problems. So I just wanted to say really a heartfelt thank you. So finally, I wanted to give an update of something I was super proud of today. Today I went to Solano County Supervisor Cassandra James's and the United Way Bay Area. They had a justice initiative surrounding housing, and it was in Fairfield at the Solano County Event Center, where there was to explore resources for affordable housing. And I didn't get the agenda beforehand, but I was just so thrilled and pleasantly surprised when Director Latan Jones got up as a case study, using City of Fairfield and the Housing Division as a case study for all of those people that were here all over the region to talk about housing and how, you know, for us to be used as a case study, Director Jones's work to be used as a case study, like for everyone to hear and to see how he's pathwayed us, just made me so proud. And I just wanted to give you a public thank you. And that was long, I'm sorry, but I'm done. Thank you.
No, that was perfect. Councilman Tonneson, please.
Thank you, Mayor. I think there'll be enough garbage talk tonight. So the parade was fantastic. We had the 4th of July parade, and we all got to ride on the, what year was it built?
The Old Man,
The Old Man,
1930.
in the 30s or something like that. Thought it was going to be a little rough ride, but it wasn't. It was a really good time. And the lights, if anybody hasn't been downtown recently, after dark, we've got it all lit up downtown. The restaurants are staying open later. We're really moving the downtown. There's a couple more restaurants that are about to open, and the beer garden, we're not far off on that, so we're making progress. But that's all for me tonight, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Doug.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I'll keep it brief. We got a pretty full room tonight, so real quick, like Councilman Tonneson said, the 4th of July parade went really good. There was a real good turnout. I'm always looking forward to that. And then secondly, the movies in the park. I went to the Wood Creek Park, and it was so nice. They were doing a movie night and food trucks, and they're going to be doing it again next week, I believe it is. I'm sorry, I don't have the thing in front of me. My computer's not working very well. But if you guys get a chance to go to that, you can look it up on our website. It's awesome. Take the kids. It's just really nice in all the parks that they're doing that. But that's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor Moy, and thank you, everyone, for coming this evening. As I often say, it's always a better meeting when this chamber is full because it's your chamber. So Thank you for taking the time to be here this evening. I will keep it brief as well. Want to thank the mayor and the city manager and all of those who attended our heart-to-heart listening tour at Rolling Hills Elementary School at the end of last month. It was a really well-attended and productive meeting. And we too, in District 4, are working on our LLMDs, and that stands for Landscape, Lighting, and Maintenance District. And it's basically the assessments that we pay in our neighborhoods to keep it pretty when you drive through. So we have a lot of work to get done on that, but we had a very fruitful conversation. And on that note, the LLMD meeting for tomorrow evening in Rolling Hills at Donnell Park has been canceled. So we are doing some research on some issues that we need to figure out before we get back to our strategy meetings. And the cancellation has already been sent out, but just in case someone's watching, the meeting tomorrow night is canceled. But we do have a Landscape Oversight Committee meeting this coming Thursday, July 17th, 5 to 7 p.m. at the City Operations Yard, 420 Gregory Street. So this Thursday, 5 to 7, 420 Gregory Street, more on landscaping, but it's all good. And I want to say thank you to the city manager, who's been very proactive in managing, and the mayor, been very proactive in managing the Republic Services issue that we're all dealing with in the city. I was very pleased to see that the city manager, before I could ask him questions, he's already on it, already got answers and moving things forward. So David, thank you very much for, I believe, a job well done. And the last thing I'll say is, with my immunology hat on, is I'd like to just remind our residents that your trash bins now are bacterial incubators. And may be vectors of infectious disease. I mean, there's a reason that Republic Services has a truck that comes to your house with a long mechanical arm to pick up the trash and dump it without touching it. So I'm just asking you, from an immunological point of view and from a preventative point of view, please be careful in handling this, what could be now biological waste, basically, you know, because the food and that stuff's, like in my neighborhood, the cans are just out there. And they're full, and it's been almost a week. And so now the food that may be in there is now a substrate for bacterial growth. Oh, and guess what? The weather, perfect for bacterial growth. I'm not kidding. So, I mean, I understand that these are tough times, but I just want to remind our residents that if you're handling that trash, you're handling material that could be infectious. So please, I know it's kind of gross, but it's real, it's biology, so it's the truth. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that, and just to thank everybody who's weighed in on this. We're on it, believe me. The city of Fairfield and our staff, we're on it, 100%. So we'll get it done. That's my report, ma'am.
Thank you. And Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. I think as mentioned, alongside much of city staff and actually the entire city council, it was a pleasure to be in the parade on 4th of July. The fire department did quite a job with that fire truck. I'm glad I won't be sitting in it for another year, though, I will say. In addition to that, yesterday I had the honor of participating in a panel for PAPA of Solano County. They invited some of the newer elected officials across Solano County to come and do a forum with some of their interns that they had. They had about 20-ish interns that volunteered in a variety of offices over the past few months, across the coroner's office, at the sheriff's department, Congressman Garamendi's office, and a couple of council member offices in Solano County. So I joined on the panel with Supervisor Cassandra James, then a couple council members from Vallejo, and then school board president Anna Patero. So that event was yesterday at the Solano Community College. So that was a really good one. And the highlight of it was probably getting a box of jelly beans at the very end. Thank you, Mayor.
That's great. Thank you. I wanted to start tonight not with, excuse me, a report, but to say that our employees are all of them, ones that you don't hear from, you hear a lot about others, have been working at extraordinary lengths to help through this garbage situation. Specifically, I was out the last couple of days checking on the sites where there are large dumpsters and people bringing things. And they're bringing not just household trash. They were bringing tires. They were bringing parts of vehicles. And it was unbelievable. And I'm really disappointed in the people who did that. I'm sure nobody here did that. And so it was a lot of work for our public works folks to go out there, and along with some folks that Republic hired to clean it up, they had to use large equipment. That's how big and bad it was. And then again this morning, it was clean when I got there, and I said, wow, that's unbelievable, because what we saw yesterday, but it was cleaned again. And the last 2 days I've seen public works folks, they're always working in the parks, but working in the restrooms themselves. And it is just incredible, the work that they do. And some work 24 hours. And I just wanted to say thank you to all of those folks who did that. I also know that our firefighters, we had one injured yesterday. He's okay now on a fire. It was a car fire that quickly spread into a grass fire, a 2-alarm, and he was injured and taken to the hospital, and now he is stable, he's okay. But the job that folks do are sometimes just very dangerous. Our guys that work in the roads. So what I want to say to our residents, when we're going through this thing with the garbage, we know that you are upset. We get it, because we're in the same situation. But please listen, and don't bring things out there that our employees have to go drag away. It's disgusting. And so I wanted to say that. I also wanted to say thank you to Councilman Tonneson and Planning Commissioner Kennedy. And we had 2 colleagues from Suisun City. And so people said, well, why would you do that? Well, here's why. I'm just going to bring up 2 people. Why would we go and remove garbage for some people and not the whole city? Well, first of all, we don't have dump trucks. We were using our pickups. And the other thing is that these people, there were 2 that I'll just bring up. One was a 97-year-old war veteran. The other one that I'll bring up is quadriplegic. And so can they take their garbage down to one of these sites? The answer is no. So those are 2 of the reasons that we went out and did that. And let me just say again to Public Works and anybody that has to deal with garbage, wow. I mean, yeah. And some people don't use liners. I had maggots crawling all over my arms. And so, and what yeah, what Vice Mayor Bertani said.
Those are vectors of infectious
Yes.
disease, ma'am.
Oh, I threw my clothes out and scrubbed. Anyway, but our guys and gals do that every day. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, the other thing I want to say is to our employees who are confronted by people who are angry about their garbage, I'm going to ask people to be much more polite than I am, okay? Be polite to these people. They're public servants, and they don't need to be yelled at. Everybody's doing all they can. That I can tell you, because the city manager and I are like, hooked at the hip right now. But so that's all about that. And if you want to talk to me about the garbage, please call and make an appointment, and don't yell at the people on the 4th floor. If you do that, I'm not going to meet with you. It's that simple, because we're not going to encourage that behavior. Anyway, and then the other thing, the good thing that I wanted to say was, on the 4th of July, we did something else, and that was we cut the ribbon on the downtown. I mean, it was pretty funny. They brought the ribbon down. We cut it, and the reason is that it's a whole new downtown. And now some people say the trees are too small. They're going to grow, okay? They're new, and it's really, really cool. And we have sculptures down there too, public art. So check it out. Check out the new restaurants. It's a going Jesse, as my late father-in-law would say. So thank you, and Mr. City Manager.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Obviously, I think the most pressing topic is the topic of waste management here in the city of Fairfield. We do have members of Republic Services here tonight. I thank them for coming in case there's any specific questions that the council might have. Here is sort of a status update. As I think a lot of people in the community know, we have 4 locations throughout the community that have what are called roll-off bins. You can take household waste there. As a few of the council members mentioned, household waste does not include tires, construction debris, ladders, mattresses, right? Community, this is not an opportunity to just get rid of all that stuff that's been piling up around the house. Household waste is the stuff that you would otherwise put in your waste container, your recycling container, or your green waste container on a weekly basis. There is some relief coming. So starting tomorrow, Republic Services here in Fairfield is going to have very limited, and I want to be specific on that, very limited residential service. What they're going to prioritize first is trying to start getting around to those addresses that have been the longest without service. So as of today, what that means is folks living in the Tuesday service schedule area. That's, for lack of sort of better boundaries, it's mostly District 2. And the reason being is because that Tuesday service effectively has been 3 weeks since it's been serviced. So that's going to be the highest priority, and then they're going to start rolling through the service schedule as they can, right? They only have relief drivers. They do not have full force and effect. To give some sense of what it takes to pick up the trash every day of the week here in the city of Fairfield, just side loaders. So we all know we put out a trash can in front of our house, a specialized truck comes by, has a claw that comes out, picks up that can and dumps that into the truck. They are required under our contract to maintain 26 vehicles in order to provide daily service in the city of Fairfield. That is a lot of equipment. So as they have 1 or 2 or potentially 3 relief drivers coming, I want to make very clear that that does not mean that, okay, great, by the end of this week all of the trash is picked up. Hopefully, Republic's dispute with their drivers, the Teamsters Union, hopefully there is some deal made in the very near future so this does not turn into a prolonged issue. But for the time being, the relief staffing that they do have, they're going to start to get back to doing some limited residential service starting tomorrow. They're going to be back to providing services for Travis Air Force Base. Certainly, they're going to prioritize those community assets that are most critical. So North Bay Hospital, they're going to do public pickup sites. So the 4 locations where we've had all the issues, they're going to continue to prioritize picking those up, given the amount of waste that we've been seeing in those areas. As the mayor and council members mentioned, thank you very much to our Public Works team. We asked them to go out. They assisted Republic in cleaning up those sites. And as needed, I'm appreciative for them continuing to do that in order to try to keep the area as clean as possible. So they'll do those. They will be prioritizing our commercial businesses, particularly in the downtown area, North and West Texas, because of the time it's been since those areas have been serviced. And then continuing to, as best as possible, run service for commercial and industrial services, just because those all are the ones that tend to overfill and overflow the quickest, particularly in light of, I imagine there has been some residents that are driving around looking for some location to drop off trash. You see a commercial roll-off bin sitting behind a business. It's got a little space. People are tossing stuff in there. So again, please do not do that. The 4 locations are Allen Witt Park, Cordelia Community Park, Donnell Nature Center over in the Rolling Hills neighborhood, and Industrial Court, which is where Republic's courtyard is. So we'll do all we can. Now, as it relates to the illegal dumping and the mass dumping that's been happening at those roll-off bin locations, starting tonight, Republic Services, in partnership with the city, is going to have 24-hour security at each of those sites. You will not be allowed to illegally dump large amounts of debris. Again, household waste is accepted. You can also take, any members of the public can continue to go out to Potrero Hills landfill. Potrero Hills, so long as you show that you are a Fairfield resident, you can dump your household waste there. They've tried to make that easier instead of having to drive all the way up to the top of the landfill and go over the scales and do all of that. They've put some rollout bins out there as well. So those are locations folks can go to as well, free of charge. The last thing that I want to say, I know that council members have been getting a lot of questions. I've certainly got a lot of questions, and I've seen out there as our communications team is doing our best to communicate clearly with the public, wondering what's going on, what is the city doing. So I do want to just notify all residents here tonight. We have written to Republic to formally notify them that they are in breach of their franchise agreement. They're in breach of their contract to provide services. So we have put them on notice for that. In addition to that notice of breach, we have requested from them liquidated damages. So the contract, it's available on the city's website. You go into the Public Works page under either solid waste or trash services. The contract's there on the website. Anybody can go take a look at it. But effectively, liquidated damages means that when Republic Services does not meet certain requirements, certain provisions of them providing regular service to the community, we can hold them to account at pretty substantial cost. And it is our intention to do that to the fullest effect of our contract and the law. So we will hold Republic Services responsible for this mess. With that, I do want to ask people, recognize that our Republic Services representatives that are here tonight, they have been working nonstop. I know over the weekend I was reaching out to them as I was getting calls and questions and text messages from the community. They were responsive as we were doing that, so I want to thank them for everything they've done to try their best to resolve this as best they can with their limited resources as well. With the notice of breach, what that allows us to do as well is that allows us to start looking for alternative services. As most of us have probably seen in the news, this is a nationwide strike that's going on. One of the numbers I saw in one of the newspapers is that there's 3,500 drivers across the country that are on strike, as is their collective bargaining right. With that, though, means that there's not some other trash hauler, some other trash company, some other pool of drivers sitting around waiting for the opportunity to jump in. There are 25 cities across the Bay Area and Northern California that are served by Republic Services. All of them are without service. As you've probably seen in the news, they're starting, as we are tomorrow, with some limited types of services. So despite our efforts reaching out to probably half a dozen different haulers and trash service companies, there simply is no capacity for immediate resolution. That doesn't mean that if this turns into a prolonged situation and under the breach of contract, we have to move to termination, that there may not be options. So again, we've requested liquidated damages. They are on notice. They're doing everything they can, but we will hold them to account on the contract. With that, that's my report tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. City Attorney?
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
Thank you. And Madam Clerk?
Thanks, Mayor. Once again, we still need a member for the Landscape Oversight Committee for District 2. And the Youth Commission recruitment is always ongoing. If you know of a youth age 14 to 21 that may be interested, have them contact me or email cityclerk@fairfield.ca.gov. That's it. Thank you.
The Youth Commission, they can be up to 19 years old. 19. Oh, no, that's all right. I just wanted the public to know. And we would love to have you all apply, young people, really. So, okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move to presentations. Madam Clerk?
Yes, presentations. 4th of July Parade Awards presented by Parks and Rec Superintendent Juanita Johnson.
Thank you. All right. Hello. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council, and City Manager. It is my pleasure to be here with you this evening. I'm delivering this presentation on behalf of Program Coordinator Juan Segura, who is currently on a well-deserved vacation. He sends his sincere apologies for not being able to join you tonight. I'm honored to present the plaques to the winners of the 2025 Independence Day Parade. Before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to extend our heartfelt thanks to the city departments whose support made the parade possible. Our sincere gratitude to the Fire Department, Police Department, Public Works, MOD, and MOD is Marketing and Operations Outreach Division, Marketing and Outreach Division, there you go. And of course, our own Parks and Recreation team. This event truly reflects the power of collaboration, and we deeply appreciate everyone's hard work and dedication in making it such a success. The theme for this year's parade was America's Pastimes. This year we had 54 entries, totaling over 800 people and around 100 vehicles that participated in the parade. It was nice to see a lot of you there, and we hope you enjoyed the parade as much as we did. We had 4 parade judges. Each category winner will receive $150. Sweepstakes, which is the highest scored entry, receives $250. The category winners are determined from their results. And without further ado, your 2025 Independence Day Parade winners are. So in the band category, we had Kashinoki Taiko, Japanese percussion. And so that you don't have to stand up again, you also won sweepstakes, by the way. Oh, you're welcome. All right, so novelty category is Yin McDonald's Chinese American Association of Solano County and Asian Pacific American Public Affairs. Are you here today? All right, well, we will present their plaque at a later time. Vehicle category, we had a lot of vehicles, so if you all were at that parade, you saw a good variety of different cars, trucks, wagons, itty-bitty little remote control truck I saw, that was wonderful. But the winner of the vehicle category this year was Golden Hills Mustang Club. Our walking category was Train for Life. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Devontae, you are big. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, I'm in the.
Here. Here, boys. Hold it, boys. Hold it.
Okay.
Hold it high.
Hold it up, hold it up.
Oh, wait, not too high.
Why does it say McDonald's? McDonald's.
Does it say McDonald's?
That's a great.
Congratulations.
All righty. Oh, you're so welcome.
I gotta give you a hug. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Our next category, and for those of you who actually, they weren't there. There you go. All right. I'm glad you caught that. All righty. So, oh, no, it's okay. Oh, okay. We're right there. Float. And also, for those of you who attended the parade, you were in for quite a treat when it came to our float category. We had the winner, the Guru Nanak Sikh Temple. They always come strong to this parade, and I think, quite frankly, one of my favorites. Is anyone here from the group tonight to accept the plaque? No? Well, I will say, if they were here, they would have filled this chamber 4 times over. That's how many people they had in that parade. The commercial category is FIVA's Academy. Are you here to accept your plaque award? Okay. The next category is the equestrian category. That's Rancho El Centenario, the dancing horses. Okay. And to have you stand right there. Okay. Congratulations. That's another group that always comes strong. I believe there were about I counted 53 horses, and you all can imagine the mess the Boy Scouts had afterwards, right? So, and thank you, Boy Scouts. I just want to give a shout out to them because they literally have to walk that entire parade route and stay after the parade is over to clear the parking lots. So they were fantastic, and I wish I could remember the troop number, but I can't. But thank you, Boy Scouts. The military category, American Armory Museum. All right, and because everybody else had their picture taken in front of the council, I am going to call back up the Kasinoki Taiko for the sweepstakes so that you all can take a picture in front of the council as well. All right. Okay, well. And like that, we have more seats in the council chamber. Thank you all. We look forward to seeing you at the annual Tomato and Vine Festival, August 16th and 17th. And again, a wonderful, heartfelt thank you to all who made our parade such a success. And that lovely old man fire truck, I really didn't think all y'all was gonna fit on there. So I'm glad you did and you made it, and everybody's joints are still working for it. Thank you and good night.
Thank you very much. That's a lot of work. Madam Clerk, before we go to public comments, our city manager has something to add.
Yeah, my apologies. I had one other thing on my list. I just got in the trash zone and just kept going. In response, Councilmember Carr, you'd mentioned the next movie in the park. That's August 8th at 6 p.m. in Hillview Park, and they will be showing the original Aladdin movie.
Mr. City Attorney, I had a request, and since we have Republic here, can we bring them forward and answer questions from the council?
With regard to what issue?
The trash.
I don't recommend it because it's not agendized and because the city has already sent a letter threatening legal action. I
Right.
don't want that to be used against us if we do, in fact, bring legal action against Republic.
Right.
So I don't recommend it. I'd say you allow public comment as usual, but do not comment or answer any questions.
Okay. Thank you.
One quick follow-up question. So does that mean that if so desired, Republic Services could turn in a speaker card for public comment and make a public comment?
Yes, but the same, I would also advise the council to not respond to their comment. Just take it like you would any other public comment.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, tonight, because we have a number of speakers, I'm going to limit it to 2 minutes each.
Okay.
All right?
I'll read the statement. Persons wishing to address the city council on subjects not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the council may do so at this time. The council cannot discuss or take action on matters not on the agenda for this meeting, but council members may briefly respond to statements made or questions raised by the public, ask for clarification from staff, refer the matter to staff, request staff to report back to the council at a subsequent meeting, or place the matter on a future agenda. To speak on an agenda item, please use the raise your hand feature or press *9 on your phone if you're online. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes per the mayor. Thank you. And our first speaker is Aaron Gadow, to be followed by Akbar Bibb.
Evening.
Good evening.
Hey,
Welcome
good to see you
back.
again. Thank you. Glad to be back. So, howdy, y'all. I am Aaron Gadow. I'm a City of Fairfield worker, a resident of this city, and a parent. I've been bringing my children to these meetings so they can see what democracy looks like. People asking the leaders to do what's right. When they look around the room, they see hardworking people asking for respect and fairness. I want my children to know that speaking up matters, and I want them to see that the local government actually listening. Please don't show our kids that when workers ask for help, they're ignored. Thank you.
Thank you.
Akbar Bibb, to be followed by, it looks like Shelley Martin. The pen didn't work very well. Thank you.
Man, today's a tough day. My name is Akbar, and I'm here today before you, council. I'm sorry, I'm not smiling today because right now it feels like the city is trying to balance this budget on the members. Okay, these members are here doing that work, doing that service, but we need your support though. You should be standing on this side with us in the support of the labor and the work that they're doing, offering them a 0% and also trying to go after their medical. I mean, in these days and times that we're in right now, we really need you guys to stand with us, not against us. And, you know, I heard the attorney say, hey, you guys are not to respond. We don't really need your response. We need your action. We need you guys to actually do something at the table, not come in and not give anything. Right now, everything is going up. And to come with a 0 right now, that means that the very workers that are serving this city, all of the parades, the different things that function, you guys are upset over your trash, right? You like, hey, our trash is not getting picked up. Imagine if all the things that needs to run this city isn't happening. You understand what I'm saying? The lights, the sewer, everything that we need to function, we need you guys to stand with us. We're just asking for a fair contract. That's all we're asking for. And just like the member said, we're bringing our kids here to show them what democracy looks like.
15 seconds.
We need you guys to show us what democracy looks like from this side of the table, okay? Can I get everybody to just throw their fist up in the air right here? All we asking for is just a fair contract, and we are standing in solidarity right now for you guys to stand with us. And the time is up, not for you guys to be against us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Is it Shelley? Martin?
Yep.
Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, Shelley.
Hello. My name is Shelley Martin. I'm here for 2 reasons. I represent the Vacaville Unified School District chapter, my sister chapter. I'm here to let my brothers and sisters know for the city of Fairfield that they are not alone. They're not facing this alone, and that we will be right here. We have several chapters here tonight, sent representatives, but as this goes on, if this continues to go on, we'll increase that. So I would encourage you to come to the table with a respectful offer.
Thank you.
Next is Andy Latore, and to be followed by Bruce Boyer.
Good evening, Mayor, council
Andy.
members. Yes, we have a problem with our workers here, and we need to respect their contract and give them a fair contract. And let's do the work, do the hard work, and let's take care of our workers, all right? Thank you.
Thank you. I like your shirt. I haven't seen one of those. I like it.
Next is Bruce Boyer, to be followed by Phil Stewart.
Hi, Mayor, Vice Mayor,
Hey,
City
Bruce.
Council members. My name is Bruce Boyer. I am from Sacramento. I am Vice Chair for the Sacramento County COPE. And we are here to support Fairfield city workers. And you guys have been talking about a lot about them in the opening, in your statements, in your reports, about what they've been doing, how they've been assisting with the garbage and everything that's been happening. If they're truly your heroes, they deserve more than zeros.
Yes.
Treat them right.
Thank you, sir.
Next is Phil Stewart, to be followed by Elizabeth Harrison.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Phil. I remember when you didn't used to wear reading glasses. You're like me.
I remember when you weren't the mayor. But anyways.
I do too.
My name is Phil Stewart. I work in the Streets Department, Traffic Division. This fight isn't just about wages and benefits. It's about stability and the quality of the public we serve. When city workers are respected, fairly compensated, and supported, everyone benefits. From safer streets to cleaner parks, especially now, to better community programs. If you want to attract and retain good people who care deeply about Fairfield, then show us that our value then show us that you value our work. A fair contract helps all of us, not just the workers, but the entire city. When we keep on getting done the way we're getting done at the table, like this is one of those situations, you see what you're dealing with the garbage, all right? They're supporting another group. That's what they're saying with the Teamsters. This is something that's not just gonna go bye-bye. I mean, I heard a good friend of mine, you know, they said something like, you know, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I mean, this is one of those situations. This is what we're looking at.
True.
You know? So that's really all I got. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil.
Elizabeth Harrison, to be followed by John Thompson.
No zeros, your hero. No zeros, your hero.
Mayor,
Hi.
good to see you.
Good to see you,
Ladies and
ma'am.
gentlemen, here on the dais, good to see you. The last time we met, there were zeros on the table. And I know I said, y'all got to bring something to the table that can be negotiated. And yet, it's more zeros. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. We can't talk even at zero. So yet, here we are again. We're talking about what my brothers just were talking about, having the entire city run. And yet, having the entire city run with the work of these individuals, but then wanting to balance the budget on their back yet again, on the very dollars that they need to buy bananas, eggs, lettuce, diapers for their babies, pay for a place to stay. That's not going anywhere. Those prices are still going up, and yet we have zero on the table. Y'all, you got to do better than that. You got to bring something to the table that people can truly, truly negotiate. And then yet we also have health care increasing, and yet no COLA. But I want you to pay more for your health care. You guys, I don't know what we're talking about, and Mayor Moy, you just about made our point. When you were talking about how the public works folks were out there getting it in.
You bet.
Okay? Getting it in. You got maggots crawling up your arm, guess what
That's
they
right.
had? Maggots
Yep.
crawling up their arm too.
Yep.
And this is the job that they do. This is the job that they do. And it's not just to be paid peanuts. They're not doing it for fun. They got to take care of their family the same way you take care of yours. So we're expecting a fair contract, and we are looking for actually something that we can negotiate next time we hit the table, y'all, okay? All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
John Thompson, to be followed by Matthew Badu.
Hi, everyone. I'm John Thompson. Nice to finally meet you
Hi.
in real life and not on Facebook.
Yeah.
Sitting with you, Pam, and all you guys. I do want to say thank you for helping out with all the, unfortunately, this is going to be trash talk thing, for helping everybody out and in doing what you guys were doing. Also, the public works folks as well. But they should not be doing this. This is not their job. This is not what they're paid to do. So I did hear what Ms. Williams and all everybody has said, including Pam. But I would like to add something to an idea that could happen if this continues, because this is going to get worse. They're using the union as a weapon against us to make us angry at the union, not at Republic. So that's why they're not really working on the contract, as far as I can see. So I heard one, Mr. Gasaway, is that your name? Mention about how there are people doing illegal dumping. I think Republic is technically illegal dumping in our town. So people are going to get sick because of them. So I want to know if Republic has a contingency plan on how to make that whole. I know we have a clawback in our contract for liquid damages, but You guys may not be able to speak to that, but I think Republic should also pay for unforeseen stuff to happen because of this, because kids are going to get killed, they're going to get mauled by some rabid animal or something like that as this continues. So, hopefully, thank you, everyone, and make sure everyone washes your hands. So, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Matthew Badou, to be followed by Mark Nowag.
Good evening, council. I know you're probably all thinking, oh, here's Matt again about Markley Lane. You're 100% correct. I want to do a different spin on it. We can talk about how unsafe it is out there, and you all know that it's the most unsafest neighborhood in your city, whether you want to talk about it or not. I just want to tell you another aspect, okay? This isn't my first rodeo. I'm the school board president. I'm here for just myself as that for Travis Unified. I've been on 10 city council terms. I know how this is going to play out. This is how it's going to play out. It's going to play out. We're going to still not have any dirt in the shovel, and it's going to be election time. So we've been out in the neighborhoods hard. We're going to change some leaders, and we're going to work hard, and we're going to get it done. And it's in full force. So I just want to talk real quick on the one of the many from Whitney. And Vice Mayor, I got to tell you, this gal said, "Where's Pam Bird?" And I said, "She's okay and everything." She goes, "Well, you give her a hug for me when you see her." "I would hug you, but I'm on 2 minutes," type thing. So here's the deal. Years and years ago, Whitney neighborhood used to be very vibrant and going, and there's a lot of senior citizens that live there that do their schedules around when the schools come and go because the traffic is so bad. And they don't know how to contact anyone. We've got a lot of seniors out there. And we're doing the door-to-door thing. We got to do something about it, ladies and gentlemen. Come out there the first day of school. Take a look. Take a look around. I got 9 seconds. We're going to change. We're going to change this atmosphere next year, and we're going to put in the work to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Is Mark Nowag here? Okay, I had heard you might be stuck in traffic. Okay.
I am prepared to speak for 3 minutes, so I'm going to try to be concise. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mark Novak, and I'm the president of the Travis Unified Teachers Association. As all of you, I'm here to represent students, educators in the community. Although I don't live in your community, I consider myself to be a part of it. I've been an educator in Travis for 33 years. I take my job very seriously. I'm always committed to working hard and making the district the best it can be. The Markley Lane extension is very important to me. I've driven 100 miles here tonight to be here. I could have done it by phone, I chose not to. What I want you to understand is every morning and every afternoon, the families of Center, Golden West, and Vanden, they delivered their students to school by bus or whatever. 3,300 students are passing through this area. It is an enormous amount of traffic. I've witnessed the driving there. It's aggressive, it's irrational. I know of 2 students that have gone down on motorcycles and been seriously injured. It's dangerous for students and it's stressful for parents. And I want you to know that I share the misery of the families that live in One Lake and those that live in Gold Ridge. It's terrible being in there. It's very frustrating, incredibly frustrating. Those points of congestion, including the one on Vanden Road, are very puzzling. It's almost like the system's kind of broken and everybody knows it. But anyway, I understand that resources are limited. I understand you have to make conscientious decisions about your community, and I also understand that I don't understand the details that you have knowledge for. But what I do understand is this is a small road. It's less than 1,000 feet. It's flat land. The traffic signal's already built on Peabody. Perhaps what you need is 2 stop signs, 1 for coming and going. It's not a huge project. Roads are typically $2 to $3 million per mile, and this is less than a quarter of a mile. I know it wouldn't be cheap anyway. Anyway, what I question you is, or the question I present to you is there a better dollar project in your city that will bring more happiness to your community and safety to your students? You talk about improving the quality of life of people, that's what you're here for. I think it would be great for the people of those communities to see that their city council is working for them and doing the best of their job.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for your time.
Next is Will Wade, to be followed by Lakeisha Johnson.
Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Council members, City staff, thank you for your time and your service to our community. My name is Will Wade, and I too serve the community as a member of the Travis Unified School District Board of Trustees. I'm not here to talk about Markley Lane, but I am here to talk to you about a development in real estate that we've been working with you and your staff. I'm here to thank publicly the council and Mr. Gassaway and his staff for their continued partnership, specifically on our mutual effort to create meaningful and beneficial public space in the Gold Ridge development on property currently owned by Travis Unified School District. During the June board meeting, we passed the following resolution unanimously, and I'll read it to you for your awareness. Resolution directing the sale and surplus of real property located at the southwest corner of Joseph Garevis Drive and Gluson Drive in Fairfield, California. Whereas the Travis Unified School District is the owner of certain real property in the city of Fairfield, Solano County, commonly known as Gold Ridge, located in the southwest corner of Joseph Garevis and Gluson Drive. Whereas the Gold Ridge site has remained vacant since its acquisition in October of 2007, judgment of the board passed on the enrollment projections and other factors. The Gold Ridge site is not and will not be needed by the district for classroom buildings or educational facility purposes, and creates cost and liability for the district to continue to maintain in a safe condition. The district has been working with the city of Fairfield to come to an agreement on the sale of the property, and whereas the district has yet to receive an offer for the purchase of the property, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education of the Travis Unified School District, Solano County, California, as follows. The foregoing recitals are adopted as true and correct. If no offer for the purchase of the property is received by the district within 180 days of passing this resolution, the board shall direct the superintendent and designees to proceed with the process of offering the property for sale in accordance with applicable laws.
Sir, your time is up. Could you leave us a copy?
Yes, ma'am.
That would be great.
The 3-minute timer got me.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, we appreciate your support and look forward to working with you.
All right, thank you.
Lakeisha Johnson, to be followed by Kathy Sawyer.
Good evening, Mayor Moy and Vice Mayor Bertani and other members of the council. My name is Lakeisha Johnson. I am a resident of District 6, and I am here to speak to you about my ongoing concern about the disruption of garbage service due to the strike by Republic Services. This situation has led to significant inconvenience for our residents and poses serious public health risk, as indicated by Vice Mayor Bertani, and including an increase in bugs and rodents within our community that we are seeing in the streets, hopefully not to start entering our homes. Given these challenges, I urge the City Council to consider the following: an immediate action plan to address the backlog of uncollected garbage. Thank you, David Gassaway. It was reassuring to hear that you are on top of it. However, I would like for it to be expanded a little further, and how will the city mitigate the health risk associated with the accumulation of waste? Your long-term solutions. In light of the current situation, I request the council to evaluate the feasibility of bringing waste collection services under city management. This would ensure greater accountability, consistency, and responsiveness to the needs of our community. In addition, public health measures. What measures are being taken to control the increase in bugs and rodents? Are there any plans to provide additional pest control services or public health interventions to address these issues? And citywide pest control program. Is the city considering implementing a citywide pest control program to address the increase in bugs and rodents? Such a program could involve regular spraying and enhanced sanitation efforts to reduce attractants for pests. I understand that there may be some litigation that's going on, and maybe you could collect some extra funds so that you can actually fund that. So I respectfully request that the council provide clear communication and updates to the residents regarding the steps being taken to resolve the current situation and prevent
Your time is up.
similar disruptions in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Good suggestions.
Kathy Sawyer, I can't read the last part, sorry. Shishido? Oh, sorry. And to be followed by Brandon Dawkins.
Council, I hate to have my back towards my fellow union. My name is Kathy Sawyer Sheeter. I have lived in this community, and I'm sorry, my entire life. My children are born and raised here. My grandchildren. And I want to speak both to the council and my union members. I don't know, you don't know me. I'm a fire inspector with the Fairfield Fire Department for 18 years. And during that last layoff, two of us, two women fire inspectors, were let go to balance the budget, which I understand. But what I want to say to my members and to the council, we lost our jobs. Less than a dozen of us lost our jobs. Let me explain what that means. No health care. I don't speak about this publicly, and I very rarely speak about it privately. I lost my home. I lost my car. I lost my insurance. I lost my daughter's college fund. Talk about pain, that's pain. That's pain when you cannot look at your child and say, I got your money. It was gone. What I'm saying to you is try to negotiate. If you can't, come to an agreement. Come to an agreement. When you can't pay your bills, literally cannot pay your bills, that's when it hurts. That's when you can't buy groceries or pay for your insurance or send your kid to college. That's what you can't do. So while everybody scatters, and I am a union, I was a union member, I was a steward. My union did not share my cost. Less than a dozen people lost our jobs. A dozen. Our disbalanced city budget was balanced on less than 12 people. I'm telling you, I am telling you, pain is not having a job. Pain is not negotiating in good faith. And I am living proof. We made it, thank God, by the grace of God. It took me, I was 3 years out from my full retirement.
Your time is up.
That's pain.
Next is Brandon Dawkins, to be followed by George Kennedy.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening.
Hi.
I'm Brandon Dawkins. I'm the former Vice President of Organizing for SEIU Local 1021, but I am also a member, and we are here today. I need y'all to understand something. When the workers lose, the taxpayers lose. When you don't pay the workers, the streets can't be maintained. The parks can't be maintained. Other services in the city cannot happen. When you offer 0%, that means that you don't respect union members. And that means that they are going to take themselves and go find other jobs elsewhere, meaning that they can't adequately service this city. So the residents are going to lose, the taxpayers are going to lose. I don't think y'all want that. So with that being said, I encourage you to look outside of the box and start offering something that's higher than 0, and I'm not talking about a 1, I'm not talking about a 2, I'm not talking about a 3, 4, or 5, because these workers are the main reasons why the city of Fairfield is able to function, that is able to maintain. And when you don't take care of them, you don't take care of the taxpayers. So I need you all to really consider that. Heroes don't deserve zeros. And before I go take my seat, I need to remind y'all that if they don't get no contract, some of y'all ain't gonna get no sleep. If they don't get no contract, some of y'all ain't gonna get no peace. If they don't get no contract, No peace. No peace. If we don't get a contract, no peace. No peace. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Valeria, I just saw your message. The mic was off.
Hi, George.
Hello, everybody. Hola. So, the only thing I want to talk about tonight is give a special thanks to Public Works and the HART team for all the hard work they've been doing the last few days with this garbage mess. Saw it firsthand. And my grandson says to say, people are crazy out there with all the stuff that they were leaving. He had to go up to Cordelia Park twice today to make sure it was getting cleaned up, because you all know my 6-year-old is a little garbage fanatic. But we love our Republic Services, our garbage men. They're amazing. We know that the Fairfield group is more of a stuck in the middle on this, but what most people probably don't know, and I highly, highly encourage you to do this. There's a group called Cascade Investments that owns $14 billion and owns 34% of Republic Services. He also owns 8% of Waste Management. That person is Bill Gates and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. If we're really ticked off, why don't we do like everybody did with Elon Musk? Elon Musk owns 13% of Tesla, and he's getting railed across the country. Bill Gates owns 35% of Republic, 8% of Waste Management. Let's start going after that, because those are the people in the boardrooms in Phoenix, Arizona, that are causing the problems. It's not these employees who work their butts off, but let's go after it. Do a letter writing campaign. When we're talking to the press, let's say, Bill Gates, stand up and help get our cities clean again, because you're the problem, not the workers of the city of Fairfield or Republican in our city at least. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, everybody. I go down the rabbit hole sometimes.
I like that. Are we finished?
Yes, did anyone else wish to speak? Okay, and there are no hands raised online, so should I move on to the consent?
Yeah, I just want to say one thing.
Okay.
That Kathy Sawyer-Shishido, I was the only person on the council who voted no, and Pam wasn't on the council then. Because single mothers, not just her, there were others, got laid off and they lost stuff too. And I want us to all be reminded that there are people behind the garbage trucks and who work here for our city. And I want to remind them that we're humans too. And that's all. I just wanted to say that, and that I'm sorry that the union, they say they're all together, but they didn't help her. So, yeah.
Consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion unless a member of the city council or the public requests that separate action be taken on a specific item. And I do not have any speaker cards. Did anyone wish to speak on any item on consent? No? Okay.
There were no hands up online? Oh. What? No, I'm not. I'm not going to. Okay, so then I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
So moved from Scott and a second from Doug. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that was unanimous. And now we are going to turn to new business. Imagine that.
Yes, new business. L1, minute action approving the mayor's appointments minute action approving mayor's appointment to the Planning Commission. And we have a new planning commissioner, Aiden Alley Sullivan, who I'll be swearing in, but we first need to have a motion to approve the appointment.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that was unanimous.
Okay. And if you could come up to the
And
front.
I just want to just say a couple words. We had some fantastic candidates apply for the Planning Commission. Doris and I sit on that commission, and Aiden was a fantastic candidate and performed very well in the interview. So looking forward to working with you.
Thank you to both you and Councilman Panduro. I read through all the resumes and everything too, and I'd also picked him out as one of the top. So it works. Fantastic.
Okay. You could stand right here, and you can film if you'd like.
Did you want to bring that up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Is that a family Bible? Oh, nice.
Do you want to hold it and somebody else record? Oh, thank you. My wife.
Okay. Hi. Oh, that's so nice.
There
Very
we
sweet.
go.
Okay, so please raise your right hand. So you'll have to, let's see. Yeah, okay. I, Aiden Alley Sullivan,
I, Aiden Alley Sullivan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations. And I just need you to sign your oath.
And shake our hands.
Right there. And I have a certificate. So nice that you brought your family Bible. And here's your certificate.
Thank you so much.
And some Jelly Bellies. Okay.
Looking forward to working with you.
Congratulations. God bless you.
All right, so, sorry, Madam Clerk. Oh, you are official now, yes. All right, so now we're going to go on to item L2, please.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. L2, Animal Control and Animal Care Services Report, discussion and direction regarding animal control and animal care services. And our presenter is Liz Aptekar, Assistant to the City Manager.
Good evening. Let's see. Get rid of this. Make sure you're seeing it in full. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you so much, Valeria. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, and council members, and those watching online. At a budget update presentation during the special meeting in May, the council reviewed increased costs associated with animal care services and animal control. Council requested additional information to clarify what the budget encompasses and the factors driving cost increases. The city manager also indicated that details regarding contractual obligations would be included in a subsequent report. Tonight, we provide a baseline report outlining animal control and animal care services related to the city of Fairfield. For context, humane animal control and animal care services are dedicated to ensuring public safety, safeguarding animal welfare within city limits, and promoting responsible pet ownership. Considering rising costs and budget constraints, this report provides an overview of current operational approaches, legal aspects, and forthcoming steps. With this public safety framework in mind, let's dive into the world of animal control and care together. The scope of services for control and care are not mutually exclusive and work as a deeply interconnected ecosystem. It is not like an a la carte menu of services due to the way current contracts and agreements are written. The left column outlines control services, and the right is care services, also known as sheltering, and where we have licensing, which is a source of revenue for the city. The list in the middle can be provided under control or care, depending on the circumstances. Next, we will go over legal aspects. Bottom line up front, in the bumper sticker across the top, agencies are required by state and local law to enforce humane treatment, respond to animal welfare complaints, and ensure public health and safety regarding animals. On the left, the Solano County Sheriff's Office of Animal Control is legally mandated to provide animal control services and administration of the countywide rabies control program. They do so for unincorporated areas of the county and Vallejo, with Rio Vista and Benicia having tailored coverage. Depicted in the middle, for Fairfield specifically, animal control is provided via the Solano Animal Control Authority, you may have heard this as SACA, under a joint powers agreement between the four cities listed, Fairfield, Vacaville, Sassoon City, and Dixon. Well, okay. On a fiscal year basis, the SACA board contracts with a private, nonprofit organization called Humane Animal Services, also known as HAS. On the right, Animal Care Services, again, also known as sheltering or licensing, is provided by Solano County Animal Care for Solano County, Fairfield, Vacaville, Benicia, Dixon, and Sassoon City. Okay, if you're following me so far, it takes a lot of research to get here. We're halfway there. Next, we'll go over our city obligation status. The City of Fairfield relies on a combination of resolutions, agreements, and joint powers authority arrangements to provide animal control and care services, with formal oversight through council resolutions and municipal code provisions. Chapter 3, for those of you who love to read municipal code. Every agreement or contract has different termination clauses and immediate financial obligations to settle the share of debts and liabilities. Animal control was previously provided by Solano County until a handful of cities entered a JPA, Joint Powers Agreement, for economies of scale in 1986. Currently, the contract with HAS began in August 2023. We just completed the first-year extension period on June 30th of this year. We have entered the second extension year period for 25-26, voted by the SACA board in May. For animal care services, the city entered a memorandum of understanding with Solano County with an initial term of 15 years, starting from December 2012 to December 2027. Before we get into the numbers, overall costs for animal control and care services have risen due to factors such as inflation, higher medical and supply expenses, and increased demand for services. Animal control and care costs are budgeted separately. On the top of the table, you will see overall contractor humane animal service costs along the top line, and the Fairfield share on the line below. As with most operations, the primary costs are personnel costs, vehicle sustainment, daily operations, and supplies. On the bottom half of the table is a representation of animal care services. This is the shelter, that is on Claybank, licensing tags, which is our only source of revenue regarding animal welfare. According to the agreement, the city also pays for the Travis Air Force Base share. We will briefly go over the factors for costs next. Are there any questions? I'll stop for a second on this slide regarding data on this slide.
Any questions so far, colleagues?
So far.
Doing
Okay.
great.
Why
Oh,
are
Doug, did
costs
you have one?
rising? Oh, you do have a question.
Yeah, I see and understand the numbers and what it cost. One of the things that I requested and would like to know is, how does the cost, what is our animal, how many dead is this costing this much money because of picking up that many dead animals, or this is that, or that's what I'm more curious on.
Yes, it's the overall ecosystem of both
Yeah,
care and
How is it
control.
matching up with these kind of numbers?
You get the cost of personnel, so if you're splitting it for overall, you're working on 7 officers trying to work through 1,200 calls for service.
Okay.
For an area of our entire city. For care services, it is for basically where an animal is picked up. Let's say you brought up an example of you found a dog at a location.
I couldn't get help with it.
You didn't have a GPS chip of where you picked it up. You, obviously, sir, as a council member for a district, might know exactly that city or county, or, maybe it's Vacaville. Most people who bring in the animal to the shelter, which resides in the city of Fairfield on Claybank, they don't necessarily remember where they picked up the animal. And the way the numbering and costs are shared, the way it's written right now, it's where the animal is turned in. So if a person who's turning in an animal says, I don't know where I picked up the animal, it gets charged to Fairfield. So we have looked at how they do their process. And as you know, we have a variety of constituents out there. And I promise you that they're not trying to just say the animal is from Fairfield. I think most of the time, they just know they're turning it into Fairfield. They don't necessarily remember where they picked it up, or they're not thinking of the geolocation of where they picked this animal up.
One brief follow-up. How many animals did we provide care to last year, and what's the number for animals, dollars per animal?
It was over 7,000 from the county. 7,000 animals, yes. And the cost per animal, of course, that page didn't print out, so I apologize. I'll have to get back to you on that, so.
Would it be fair to do, 4 million divided by?
It was, according to fiscal year 23-24, 7,696. But that total intake it includes disposals as well, so.
So 556.41 per animal.
So like $560 per animal per year.
Well, not necessarily per animal per year, per animal.
Yeah.
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 Of course, we'll go into more factors as to what's happening and the increase of costs as well.
Go ahead.
They're not retowning animals, right?
Pardon me?
You don't think they're retowning animals? Just kidding.
No, but to speak to that, you said there's a part in the contract or the language that says, how do we get that changed?
That is something for
Oh,
the future,
good.
ma'am.
Okay.
I just think that's very important to get a laydown of how we approach this at all. Haven't been able to find it anywhere, so.
Okay, thank
But
you.
thank you. Any additional questions at this time? No? All right, so why are costs rising? The city of Fairfield has seen a 53% increase in costs over the past 8 years. However, most of the reasons are aligned with overall economic, operational, and societal factors. I'll just touch on a few items. Nationwide shortage of qualified and trained specialists like veterinarians, and staffing and labor costs are increasing. After hours, emergency costs are going up, and the cost of goods and services have increased up to 18%. So that includes anything like dog food, anything supplies like that. So what did we consider during our research? We won't go over every section outlined here. However, the key takeaway is that what we invest into animal welfare is primarily for public health and safety risks, which we went over quite a bit today, community and economic impacts, legal and liability issues, and finally, last but not least, animal and human welfare. We will consider these broader impacts and explore alternative cost-effective solutions before recommending future options. At this time, we will outline a few next steps. Did anyone need more time on this slide? All right. So, for animal control on the left, we are awaiting estimates so we can compare and evaluate costs and service differences between the county sheriff, Fairfield PD, and our current approach. Additionally, we will assess the implications of withdrawing from the Joint Powers Authority and/or the HAS contract. Just because you pull out of one doesn't automatically mean we pull out of the other. For animal care on the right, we have requested that the county payments align with the fiscal year for budget planning consistency. Right now, according to the agreement, the updates are done in October. By the time we wait for October information, we've already budget forecasted in March. We're catching up, and then the fiscal year is already, and so now we're trying to figure out how to pay the rest in case there's increases. The average increases we have seen are anywhere from 15% to 17% per year. We can consider what having no arrangement looks like to include licensing aspects. There are some cities out there that don't have a direct arrangement, and they have the city staff somewhere, like police department, deal with the licensing. So we could look at that as an alternative. We can also explore alternative providers for potential partnerships or capacity, similar to Vallejo and Humane Society of North Bay. Basic research we've seen, though, is that most places don't have the capacity needed to provide the support, but that doesn't mean we can't look again and see what else is out there. In sum, to address fiscal challenges and ensure continued public safety, future animal service budgeting and operational strategies will focus on the careful allocation of limited resources to maximize impact and prioritize essential services that deliver the greatest benefit to the community. Thank you for your consideration and for taking the time to receive this information. And for those who wondered where the cat was, if you enjoyed... Wow, I didn't mean it that way, but okay. If you enjoyed this template, thanks goes to Ina Davenport and Valeria in the Marketing Outreach Department Division. So really appreciated their help. We're trying to see if we can change the template up a little bit. So if you have any questions?
Questions, yeah, Councilman Tonneson.
So what are our options here? We want to do, are we making a decision tonight, or was this more for discussion? Because I know the contract's coming up. Is there any other game in town other than, I think on the prior screen you had North Bay Vallejo? I mean, there's not really much other alternative for us, is there?
We can explore at this time, and we can come back to you with some future options without more in-depth research. I think we'd have to make a decision if you want to withdraw by 2025 for animal care services. If I go back to this slide, the only thing we'd have to understand based on the agreement is in that time frame, there was a $7 million discussion, deal made for the new shelter and the roofing and maintenance. And so the minute we turn in our written withdrawal with the resolution for animal care services, we would owe the 2 years of that cost up front at the time of written withdrawal. So before, if we do that by December 2025, this December, and we would owe the 2 years of operating costs for the next 2 years, so we don't hurt the other stakeholders.
Doesn't make financial sense.
Correct. We spend over $2 million.
Yes, Councilwoman Williams. Sorry about that.
Thank you, and thank you to Nina and Valeria. Yeah?
Yeah, Ina, yes.
Ina and Valeria. I love this this template. Very easy to see and clear. I love it. So my question is, and of course I know that you are here because we weren't happy with the numbers, under animal control. So what if we just said, your budget is $200,000 a year? How would you approach that if we just capped the budget?
We would have to work with stakeholders and look at our agreements and contractual obligations and then provide you some options to make some decisions.
But I would be happy to sort of frame that a little bit. Right now, and I'm not validating the costs or anything, but right now, just for animal control, so that is wild dog running around the neighborhood, that is a dead animal, out in someone's street that needs to be picked up. Just that cost alone, $699,000 a year. If you said the overall animal control and care services budget is $200,000, then we would have to pick and choose very carefully what types of immediate emergencies, right? What is the most critical life safety, health hazard emergencies would we respond to? In that scenario, you would have wild animals, feral cats, feral dogs running around this community.
Wild pigs.
Yeah, wild pigs. Because that would not be enough to service at the level that a city of 120,000 over 42 square miles needs. That said, that does not mean we don't have possibilities of alternative services. We have for years looked for some form of alternative on the animal control side. We have talked to other service providers in other counties, and unfortunately, there aren't really options. We have requested from the Sheriff's Department. Right now, the Sheriff's Department provides that service, I think, as Liz mentioned, in unincorporated county, and, which other cities? It was Rio Vista, and, there we go. Rio Vista, and Vallejo, and Benicia. So we have requested, in partnership with Vacaville, we have requested a price from the Sheriff's Department of what it would take for them to provide that animal control service, on the hope that a combined, one agency providing that service across the county benefits from economies of scale. Because if you look at the screen right now between, the cities, you sort of have your larger cities in, Vallejo split, right? So the Sheriff's Department, in terms of their operational area, is split at the extent of the county and then the unincorporated areas. In the middle of the county, where you have the populations of Vacaville, Fairfield, and Sassoon, predominantly, that 250,000 population, the sheriff doesn't operate there. Humane Animal Services operates there on contract. So we're hoping that maybe there's some economies of scale. I doubt the Sheriff's Department on a per personnel basis is going to be more cost effective or less cost than Humane Animal Services. But the question is economies of scale. Do you 24/7 have to have somebody on the streets, or on an on-call basis, do you have people that can rove throughout the county? So we've requested that as one of the options for control. Beyond that, the only other option at this point in time that we think we have would be to bring those services in-house. That's certainly a different conversation for a different time. I doubt from a very sort of back-of-the-napkin perspective, because we have not received the direction from council to look at that, but back of the napkin, we would probably need at least 3 animal control officers, plus equipment, plus the cost of operating what would be a 24/7 operation. 3 people just to serve Fairfield, I would be surprised if we could do that for less than the $699,000 by the time you factor in cost of trucks and specialized equipment and 24/7 service, cost of call outs, and so there's that. On the care side, we have checked with the SPCA at what the other, whether that be Vacaville or Vallejo, their shelters do not have the capacity to take in the numbers of animals that would otherwise originate from Fairfield. So the number of animals then that animal control is dealing with and taking to the animal care facility, there is no other option other than the county's facility that we're currently in that long-term contract on. So not only the cost, as Liz mentioned, would there be a very high cost for us just to leave the long-term contract we'd enter into with the county, but then we would have facility limitations at other facilities. One thing I want to just sort of make a quick sort of footnote on, we're not the only jurisdiction dealing with this. And what I mean by that is that this is not just a Fairfield issue. This is not just a Solano County issue. This is a broader statewide, probably national issue in terms of these services. There was a spike in the population of animals from COVID, right? Lots of people were home, working remote, and got animals, then decided maybe having that animal's not for me anymore. And so there was just a big increase in the number. The other dynamic that's at play is also that we have moved towards a no-kill, no euthanization model in Solano County and in California. And so that increases the time in which you're going to care for those animals. And so to Councilmember Sundhu's point or question on what is that cost per animal, wrapped into that cost is the length of stay before an animal is adopted or somehow finds a home. So there is no, unfortunately, there is no great alternatives. But I think what Liz is pointing out here, if the council wants us to start to explore this, certainly on the animal control side, we are awaiting the sheriff to provide us that quote. Any assistance you all could provide in sort of trying to remind your colleagues over at the county that, hey, we've been waiting for that for more than 6 months now, would be appreciated. We're waiting for that quote so that we can see what that alternative looks like. On the care side, there really is no short-term solution on that, on those costs. Now, one of the things that I mentioned last time, back when this first came up in May, is we are seeking to renegotiate portions of that contract for the next go-around. And one component of that is, as Liz mentioned, the drop-off location, I think, is skewing the numbers that are otherwise equated to Fairfield. So, Liz, if you could go to that one slide that had the percentage on the cost right there. So you'll see Fairfield's share of the shelter is 33.22%. And then, a small sliver for Travis Air Force Base. The population of Fairfield is less, about 6% or 7% less than 33% of the total population of the county. So because there are SPCA shelters, very small one in Vacaville and one in Vallejo, the overall county costs, we're paying a disproportionate share. And that's most likely just because we're the county seat and people bring the animals to, they probably Google search, hey, where's the animal shelter? I found this bird. Where's the animal shelter? And then they take it there. Yes, ma'am.
Mark, may?
Absolutely.
So two thoughts, and thank you for that. So should we look at it as a public health concern? If we don't either agree or come up with a different solution. When you say wild, animals and dead animals, just being there, is that a public health concern that we should look through that lens?
Yes.
Yes, it would create a public health concern. If council said, hey, just terminate these contracts, we could do that, but you then would have a public health issue on your hands. Yes.
Okay, and then my second question is to counteract the growing population, is that because we don't have a strong neutering type of service? Does that counteract these numbers?
That certainly counteracts. That goes back to, on one of the early slides, there is a nationwide shortage of veterinary technicians that can provide these services. So, I know we have a few, advocacy groups, like particularly for cats, right? Community cats, feral cats. And they do a great service to the community in multiple communities, right? They sort of scoop up these wild cats and they take them in to get spayed and neutered in order to control the population. The challenge with that, though, is, when we've talked with the animal shelter, animal care folks, they actually charge those groups that sometimes are nonprofits, sometimes they're just loosely affiliated. They actually charge them at a certain point. They charge them a higher rate for that because otherwise they're the consumer, right? They're consuming all of the capacity of the shelter to do that spay and neutering, to where anybody else who maybe is adopting an animal or finds an animal and says, you want to know what, I do want to go ahead and adopt this animal that I found, but I want to get it spayed or neutered. There just isn't enough. So if there were more veterinary techs able and available, then it certainly would help with that. They could do more of that spay and neutering, and that would help to control populations quite a bit more. But there is a nationwide shortage of those specialized skills.
Councilman?
Yeah, I just want to thank you. I kind of really wanted to take a better look at all this and have a better understanding, and I believe I do now. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Minveer?
What's the average length of stay at the shelter for animals?
I didn't think that question out, so I would have to find that from them.
If we can look into that to see what the current county policy is, I'd be curious if we can renegotiate our portion, or if we can dictate to them what we would be comfortable with to try to bring the cost down for this. I would hate to have to lay folks off, but we're spending millions here. I think there's savings to be made. It's not going to be easy. It's picking two different sides that are very emotionally driven. But this seems like one place where we could, even if it is about a 7% difference. If we can match that gap, I think that would go a long way.
We will. That is certainly something that we're going to try on. And yeah, it would seem to me that I don't know if length of stay has anything to do with it. It's just more the number of drop-offs, but. Certainly, there would seem to be an imbalance between your population and the number of animals, your percentage of the county's total population and the percentage of the total county animals being dropped off at the shelter. The fact that we're that much higher, I would like to see us try to move towards more of a per capita, right, a population-based formula where each city that's participating is participating based on their share of the population served by that facility, because then at least we're all paying our fair share. Compared to our total population.
And then one brief follow-up would be if it's possible if we can figure out some way as a region for one entity to be in charge of this, be it the county or a county-wide JPA that maybe we try to manage or run, but just for there to be one single organization responsible for this, if that's possible, instead of it being so segmented at the moment, because we're all facing the same problem. I know we do that for other things like ambulance and stuff. So if that's feasible here, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's certainly an option we could look at. Councilman Tonneson, did you have a question as well? Sorry.
Yeah, I think that's the direction they're headed. I mean, the amount of hours that are spent on something like this, if it's a good savings, I think I agree the numbers are skewed somehow. So I would suggest maybe getting to those numbers first to see, are they skewed, and then maybe look at the numbers again. Be my suggestion.
Anybody else?
I do have one speaker card.
Okay.
Dennis Green Jr.
All right, sir, you've got 2 minutes.
Not 3?
2.
Oh, different subject. Okay. But we can bring it back to the same subject. How you doing, Councilman Dan? How you doing, District 6? I haven't met you before, but I like your questions, and I've been watching online, even though I don't be here. On subject, to stay on subject, sheriffs do animal control, right?
Not right now.
Not right now?
They do to a certain extent. Depends on how they work their agreements with those specific, they're tailored. Do you want to go back, sir?
Well,
Here you go.
yeah, you had unincorporated Vallejo, Rio Vista, and Benicia. And I bring that one up because Benicia, I've been in the different groups, and Benicia is actually different, like the library or other different boards I try to sit on. I tried to sit on that I came here and asked y'all about, and I haven't been able to go there because I actually got kicked out the library. But let's take on point that it shouldn't take 12 police officers from the sheriff's department when Fairfield is about, let me see, I go football yards, about 60 yards. They can huddle up and go run over there, and you take 12 sheriffs to come next door. How does that make sense? For no reason of somebody trying to go pay some fees, but that's a whole nother subject, right? But we come for solutions, and I've been listening to how at the state level where they want to do the chickens, limit the chickens and things, so they might have to increase their, I don't know what you call that, to limit those type of things, right? And because they came in there just like the SEIU, or excuse me if I said it wrong, people come talking about those issues about how it's unfair. And then I just take about, speaking of that, Tim's be like, it just
You
makes
have
sense when we come
15
to-
seconds.
Oh, I know, and I'm just coming up freestyle, so it doesn't make sense. But it just doesn't make sense that 12 police officers to arrest somebody for going to pay book fines, collection fines, I should say. It doesn't make any sense, especially for something that's new into collections and that you actually been serving and going to over 12 meetings, no, I shouldn't say 12, or 12 months of meetings, and trying to serve on that same committee, and then you get arrested for, one, trying to go pay the fines of what y'all want the money for, right? You want the money, right?
Your time's
I'm
up.
paying the money.
Yeah, your time's up. Thank you. All right.
And it must be added that
Sir,
those
you're-
are formerly homeless people that's paying those fines and things like that, so I'm just saying.
All right. Anybody else, Madam Clerk?
Did anyone else wish to speak? No?
Madam Vice Mayor, did you want to speak?
Yeah, just real briefly, I want to put a plug in for the shelter. The shelter does a great job. They're very professional.
Yes.
They love the animals. They know what they're doing with these animals. I've actually had to use the shelter when our Akita flipped out, and they had to come out and get our gigantic Akita, and they did that. They took care of him. They tried to repurpose him. You know, so, I mean, they're thinking about, they actually go to work every day. They didn't know who I was from Adam, you know what I mean? But I just really appreciated the way that even though they had to put him down, because I said, do not repurpose this animal.
Right.
He's done. It's a wrap. But I'm just saying that they tried everything in their power to make it so that our dog could be cared for properly. I appreciate that. People call me back. They're saying, oh, well, you know, let me check on this and that and get back to you. I mean, you know, like when people actually go to work, that's them. So I just really wanted to put a plug in for them. I'm a fan of the shelter, and I hope that they continue to be a part of our future because they care about their job. They care about the animals, and they're really good at what they like, really, really good. So I just want to put a plug in for them.
Thank you, Madam Vice Mayor. It's very reassuring because between HAS and the control and the care services, they're also public servants. They do it when they could be working at a veterinarian's office doing
Right.
regular hours, making a lot more money.
You know how it is with when, if you have daycare, you know people who actually love kids.
Yes.
And you know people who are just, that's what that is an income. These guys actually love the animals, and they care about the delivery of their service. Let me just put it succinctly: their service delivery model, outstanding, outstanding.
Thank you.
And thank you for an outstanding report. I love the format of this too. I think it's great. Your template,
Thank you.
very nice.
I want to go back to what I would like to see. You guys spent a lot of time looking for this thing that says that we have to pay for them if they're dropped off. You found where that says that, or you haven't?
Yes, ma'am.
You did find it?
It's written in the agreement.
Okay, so we need to change our agreement.
Yeah, it's in the agreement. She's saying, where did that formula come from? Like,
Yes.
who came up with that at what point in time?
Yes.
That's what she meant is,
Sure.
we don't know the specifics of that, of
Very good.
negotiations
Okay, so
years
we-
ago,
Yes.
15 years
So
ago.
we need to change that so we're not charged and go along more like population or something like that. And I agree with Councilman Sandu in that I would like to see if the sheriff will do it. He's told me flat out no, but that's been some time ago. That to have it both under the sheriff. The sheriff, they do a good job, I think, at the shelter, like the vice mayor says. And I've had rescued dogs and stuff in there, so yes. And they have great volunteers there also who are not paid but love the animals. So that's what I would like to see us work on, is try to get that done so we're under one umbrella and get a change to that agreement because, yeah, who knows where that came from, but that doesn't make any sense. And that's all I have, and I want to say that what my colleagues have said, and that is really good presentations, nice template, and great delivery.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Have a good evening.
Okay, thank you. So now we're going to move on to public hearings.
Yes, item M1, ordinance 2025-06, Vista Ridge Zone Change, amending Chapter 25 of the Fairfield City Code, Article 1, Section 25.12.3, also known as the City of Fairfield zoning map, to redesignate the zoning of 3331 North Texas Street, APN 0167-130-240, from regional commercial CR to mixed commercial CM, consistent with the Fairfield General Plan. And our presenter is Yi Lin Wong, our planner.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Tonight I will be presenting the zone change application to rezone parcel located at 3331 North Texas Street from regional commercial to mixed commercial. Joining us today are also representatives from the applicant team via Zoom, and also we have the housing department here to answer any questions you may have regarding the services that this project will support. So on April 7th, 2025, Cameron Danco of Danco Group filed a zone change application to rezone the parcel located at 3331 North Texas Street from regional commercial to mixed commercial. And you can see the map highlighting the site. For additional background, this is just to support the zone changes to support the Home Key Plus permanent supportive housing project, and we're working with the applicant group with this. And the Home Key Plus project is coming from is funded through the California Department of Housing and Community Development. The tenant target population for this project that the zone change supports includes the general homeless population with behavioral and mental challenges, as well as the homeless veteran population. Additional information supporting the zone change is that Currently, the CR zone does not permit residential land uses, which the Home Key Plus project would need to facilitate that project. And the CM zone, which is what is being proposed for that area to change to, does allow for both commercial and residential land uses. It is consistent with the general plan, given that the CM zone does still include commercial and it's not strictly changing to a residential zone. The zone change also serves public interest, given that the future use of the parcel will be used for permanent supportive housing. This project is exempt under CEQA, Section 15061B3, Common Sense Exemption. Since the project does not include any physical changes, it is merely just an ordinance for the zone. And with that, additional background, June 25th of this year, the Planning Commission held a public hearing and unanimously adopted PC 2025-3, recommending City Council approve of the zone change. And staff recommends that the City Council conduct the first reading of Ordinance 2025-6, initiating the zone change to change the property from CR to CM. I will take any questions you may have, and also I'll reiterate the applicant team and housing services is also here.
All right, I'm going to open the public hearing and take, any speakers.
I have two speakers. First, Wendy Adams, and second, Carlos Davilla.
And Madam Mayor?
Yes.
Just for the record, there was an email that was received around 4:45 this afternoon. It was forwarded to all the council's emails. I want to make sure that council had a chance to read it. It was forwarded to all of you from the city clerk.
There were actually 3 emails.
Oh, thanks. I didn't even see the other 2.
You know what? I think I forgot to copy you on the next 2, so I apologize.
I don't matter as long as they got it.
Okay.
They got it?
Did you get them,
The others,
Scott?
the council got the others too?
Yes, I sent it
Okay,
to
thanks.
the entire
For what?
council. Is Wendy Adams here? Perhaps she left. Carlos Davilla? Oh. Carlos? Okay. I know you're not Carlos. I know you.
Thank you.
So Carlos is not here. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go up to the dais and speak. Oh, no, she's just filling out her card. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. I'm Carlos Davilla, and I've been a resident of Rolling Hills for 24 years, 55 years in Fairfield. I've seen a lot of changes. I'm here to express my opposition to the rezoning of the Shore Stay Hotel to a mixed commercial. There's already been opposition already from the dental office right down the street, which is a brand-new business with homelessness. I have observed already crime or retail theft at Lowe's, Rayleigh's, from homeless people who have been panhandling that area for the last 3-4 months. Changing the area to make that into a permanent supportive housing is going to exacerbate that issue. I don't see what the city intends to gain by changing the rezoning and bringing homelessness to the area. I serve on the Landscape Oversight Committee because I want to do my share and help keep Fairfield in a respectable area, a place that you can be proud of. I don't feel that rezoning the area is going to help in any way. The state has already wasted $39 billion in the last 10 years. And look what it got us. It got worse. We make it too easy for homeless. We provide them with free rent, free this and free that. Why? What we do is just, for them it's a way of living. They pick that, they choose that way of living, that that I don't agree with, but yet we continue to give this, we feel sorry for them, and it's time to put a stop to that. We need to hold them accountable. I don't believe that it's going to help us in any way. I oppose seriously the project. By converting the hotel to a permanent supportive housing, you're also going to lose the revenue that it brings as a hotel. You do get a retail or transient fee or tax, and you're going to lose that. So there's other areas that you need to consider. So
Your time is up, sir.
thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Okay, our next speaker is Pat Horn, and then I do have one hand raised online next.
Hi, Pat. I'm here to discuss this change. I was trying to figure out, I live in the Flower Street area, and right near the Public Safety Academy, and the problem is that we have sirens going all the time. And so for just curiosity's sake, I went ahead and pulled up the police log from July 6th through July 12th, and there were 103 calls for service on North Texas Street alone. And that included responding to battery, fight with weapons, alarms, suspicious persons, occupied suspicious vehicles, transient camps, petty theft, disturbing the peace, domestic violence, robbery, drunk driving, and fights. There are not enough police to monitor North Texas Street. And if we change the location and type of residence that would be for, we would have more homeless people there. As it is, when you go to the bus stop right across the street from Planet Fitness, you will always see homeless camping over there. And the police do try their hardest to keep it clean. We have the Public Safety Academy right there. We also have Fairfield High. We have elementary schools as well. This is not the type of location for that type of housing. And it will bring the property value for all of us down in the Flower Street area, and it's not really fair. I mean, there are other places that would work, but that would not be a very good choice at this point. Your time is up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I fill out a card for this one?
Oh, okay.
Can you do it? You got me?
Yeah.
Dennis Green Jr., just for the record, speaking on this subject. As a wanted to get a degree for business person, I understand what businesses are going through, and as a representation of the homeless people and the ones that do give back to the community once they are homeless, meaning staying in hotels, buying food, the Bumba socks that the people over there gave me, now I go, that they give one for free. If you buy one, I will support y'all, go buy one. And then once they get off of being homeless, they go buy sets and then improve the economy. Let's stop making it seem like these same issues that's going on where all these people fill this room, some of them people gonna be homeless. Now, what we need to start doing is having oversight of how to survive homelessness. You know what I mean? I know I don't look good right now because I ain't got no haircut because I don't want to get a haircut, but we need to start having what to do once you go homeless and how to overcome it. And all these business owners, I get it, you know, and business is going bad. Don't blame it on all homelessness. It ain't all about, you know what I mean? Your business wasn't booming like that. So to get it booming, we need to get everybody booming. And then there's other races that's dealing with way more circumstances when it comes to overcoming. Like the lady just spoke, kids going to college, losing jobs, and they already under the budget.
Thank you.
And then there's Valeria. Could you bring the person online?
Yes, we have Cameron Dart. You have 2 minutes.
Cameron? Go ahead. Could you repeat your name? Hello? You need to speak up. Oh, we're trying to get the person from online. Valeria, did they hang up?
No, she's still there, but she's not speaking.
Oh.
Is there somebody else online that would like to speak?
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Oh, yes, speak up, please. And what is
Sorry
your
about
name?
that.
And what is your name?
Yes, good evening, Madam Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Cameron. I'm the project manager with Danco Communities, working on the Vista Ridge project that we're speaking of. Not much else to add related to the project details. Yilin did a nice job covering them, and we've been before you all previously. Just wanted to provide a general update on the project around the community engagement. Appreciate the public comment. Wanted to let the community and council know that we are scheduling multiple community engagement meetings for the month of August. One of our funding partners in HUD was conducting a subsidy layering review over the last couple months, an essential process for any project to move forward of this nature. We anticipate that to be complete very soon here, so we can have the assurances we need to move ahead. Once that is done, we will work through that community engagement project in partnership with Latan and his team again during the month of August. So thank you. That's all I had to add.
Thank you, and could you please stand by for any questions that council may have?
Yes, absolutely available for any questions. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, sir.
And then another speaker, Kay. I'm sorry, I can't read your last name. Locatelli. Okay, thank you.
Well, I also live in the Flower Streets, and...
Is your mic on, Kay?
I can't tell.
Yeah, it is? Okay.
Is it on?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. I live in the Flower Streets, and there is a tremendous homeless mess out there. And I have seen in Santa Cruz County, which has a huge homeless problem, they have set up these houses for the homeless to move into and be independent. And within months, they are trashed. It may be your apartment, but gee, I don't have a place to stay, so I move in with you. And the drug mess and all that, it will be 10 times worse if you allow that change.
Yes.
I can't imagine what a bad, bad mistake that would be. Look at other cities who have tried it and find out what their experience is. The constant calls for police, fire. It's a losing situation, and I sincerely hope that you just say, no, not this place. Thank you.
Thank you, Kay. We have anybody else, Madam Clerk?
I see a hand raised again. Valeria, is there a new person online to speak?
No, there is not.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Anybody else wish to speak? I can't have you come up again, sir. Thank you. So I'm going to go ahead then and close the public hearing and bring it back to the council for questions, discussion, and we do have the Waco, Damco. Not Waco. Waymo. No. Anyway, he's online. Yes, Madam Vice Mayor.
Thank you. One question that I have is, by approving, so both the Planning Commission resolution and the proposed resolution state, and I quote, "Environmental impacts from any specific proposed development of the property will be evaluated at the time a proposal is considered by the city," close quote. So by approving this resolution, would the city council be approving the development of a permanent supportive housing project before the city knows what the environmental impact would be on our community if we approve this tonight?
No, and I'll clarify. The item tonight is just for the zone change. It's not for any development portion of the actual project. With the quote that from the staff report that you mentioned is later when they're ready for development of the site, they'll come back to the planning division and we'll reevaluate whether or not that project scope requires planning commission or city council, for review. Sometimes it's under that threshold and it is done at a staff level though.
But for all intents and purposes, we're approving this zone change for this project, which we've partnered with Danco on and submitted an application to the state of California, right?
Yes, the permanent supportive housing application is separate from this zone change, but the zone change would support that application.
That's why we're doing the zone change. Or am I missing something?
No.
No.
And I'm just saying, so my concern is that for all intents and purposes, if we do this tonight, we're saying yes to this project, and we don't know what any environmental impacts would be.
Technically, yes.
Do you see what I'm?
I do understand.
And I'm just saying that because both the proposed resolution and the Planning Commission resolution specifically have this language in both of those documents. So,
But as of right now, all you're doing is changing the zoning. There is no formal application on a project for entitling the project with the specificity that we would need in the details on the project in order to do and determine the level of environmental analysis required.
so in other words, we could approve this resolution tonight for the zone change, and then at a later date, determine whether the project is environmentally sound. And if
It's not necessarily environmentally sound. It would be what level of CEQA review is required, and then depending on any potential impacts of the project, what mitigation measures would be required against those impacts.
So I'm just putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, from a process perspective, yes.
Okay. Okay, that answers that question. I have a question for Danco. At the February 4th, 2025 council meeting, I believe it was Mr. Dart, stated that they would conduct a community outreach meeting for businesses and residents in the community within a few months of that February 2025 meeting. Is that right?
Yes, they did.
I know it's right because I
It
looked
is
at
right.
the meeting again.
Mhm. That's correct.
But my point is, has that community outreach, excuse me, commenced? Because Mr. Dart said Danco would start those meetings within about 3 months of that February meeting. And it's now the end of July. My question is, has the community engagement, has that meeting taken place?
No.
Is
Good
he on the
evening,
line?
Madam Vice Mayor. Am I able to field the question?
Did you hear my question, sir?
I did, correct.
Okay, can you give me an
Thank you.
answer?
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, as I mentioned in my opening, and just to add some clarity there, we are working with HUD on a subsidy layering review, and that is a part of our capital stack that makes the operations of this project possible in terms of providing services, security, desk coverage, and all of those things. And their review has not been finalized yet, so it's really, from our perspective, a matter of sequence. We're expecting that to reconcile very soon here by the end of the month. And then, as mentioned, we are working to schedule those meetings for August.
So the answer to my question is no. You said
That's
you were going to
correct.
do the community engagement meetings a few months after February, and you're saying you're planning them for August? Is that what you're saying?
That's accurate. We have not held a community engagement meeting as of yet,
Yeah.
due to the
See,
sequence of the project and the
it-
process that had to take place.
If you look back at that February meeting, one of the things that I was very concerned with and that you committed to, the meeting is on YouTube, you committed to, is that you would have a robust community engagement protocol that would be in place, and it's not. It's not there. So see, that makes me very uncomfortable because you're asking me to vote on something and you haven't heard from the community on this. And we're pretty late in the game. I mean, the application has been submitted and the awards are being granted like soon. The awards for the project that you've put in an application for will be granted soon. They've already started churning out grants, the money. But what I specifically put on the record and asked you for in February, you haven't done it. And I asked this question to the city manager yesterday, and he didn't think you held the meeting either. I just want to make sure I wasn't missing something. But this is something that is going to, regardless of the environmental impact, this will impact this community. And the main thing that hasn't been done is what you promised you would do. And now after I talked to the city manager, all of a sudden you're planning meetings for August? No, sir. That doesn't make me feel good. Listen to this. This letter is from Miss Henrietta Reinholtz of 219 Sunflower Court in Fairfield. She's the president of the Sunrise Commons HOA. Miss Henrietta writes, "Ladies and gentlemen, my husband and I have owned a townhouse on the corner of North Texas and Marigold for the past 20 years. During this time, we have watched the area gradually decline from a lovely, safe place to a crime-ridden area lined with drug encampments and filth everywhere, ! What was once a lovely area has turned into a crime-ridden encampment. We are against the rezoning of the hotel property mainly for health and safety reasons. Our complex is already bothered with vagrants trespassing on our property. They have broken into our pool and spa area, taken baths in our spa, intruded into private courtyards, broken into locked garage closets, and squatted in vacant units. Our neighborhood, Rayleigh's, has also been affected by the vagrants. Sometimes you can't enter the store without tripping over a vagrant camped out near the door. Although Fairfield PD always tries to respond, they do not have the resources to handle the extra strain on an already overburdened system. Vacaville turned down a similar plan for this very reason. There are 91 units in our townhome complex. Majority of residents are longtime owners, some for 40-plus years. They're all taxpayers and voters, and although we agree there needs to be a solution for our homeless populations, this is not it. There needs to be a system that forces individuals with special needs into programs that give them the resources they need to overcome the main reasons they are on the street, including drugs, alcohol, and mental illness. Please vote no. Do not allow our neighborhood to go into further decline, signed Henrietta Reinhold. So I wanted to read that into the record because that's the community,
Madam Vice Mayor,
excuse me, sir,
may we
that's the community engagement that you needed to make happen. The people want to hear what in the heck is going on. And scheduling a town, whatever engagement you're scheduling for August when people are on vacation, people are out of town, you said in February you would schedule this meeting within 3 months of February. And you didn't do it. So I'm not going to continue to say what I've said. I'll just say I will be voting no for this tonight.
Madam Vice Mayor, may we respond to the community engagement item? My colleague Chris was the one who made the comment in the February meeting, and if he could be let in to speak on that behalf, please, that would be great.
Is he on the phone?
Yes, and his hand is raised as well. Thank you.
Is it okay?
Can you hear me?
Is this Mr. Dart?
Yes, this is Chris Dart, President, Danco Communities.
Oh, hold on
And I
just
am
one
the one
moment, please. I've got to reopen the public hearing, so I'm going to do that. So you can speak. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Chris Dart, President, Danco Communities. I did make the comment in February. And I just want to clarify, this is just a timing issue. It's not that we're avoiding the public community meetings or anything of that nature. We absolutely are going to have the community meetings. It's a requirement of the Home Key project. We just want to make sure that this project, all of the steps that need to take place for this project to move ahead are in place. And as Cameron mentioned, we are in the process with HUD under what they call a subsidy layering review, which needs to take place prior to the project moving ahead. There are multiple steps that need to happen, and timing wise, we made the assessment in February that it would be a few months, and it's taken a little bit longer than we anticipated. And the same with the state allocation process. We also submitted other Home Key projects in other jurisdictions. In Oakland is one of them that was just received award today, but it was 2 months ahead of this project. And so we anticipate an award for this project that we're speaking of in the month of September or October. And so as a matter of process, the public meetings, there's a lot of capacity for the community and the staff, because it's a collaborative meeting, or it should be, at least the ones we've done in the past, will be taking staff time and our time to put on these meetings, and we want to make sure that the project is viable and going to move ahead before we utilize those resources. And so this isn't a dodge of the community meetings, it's a timing process. And so I just want to make that clarification, because the way that it's being spoke about today is as if we failed or we didn't follow through, and that's absolutely not the case. We're planning on putting on these community meetings, and it's a timing issue. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Mr. Dart. I'm not making it sound like anything. I'm talking to you about facts, which are from the February 2025 meeting, period. I'm not making it sound like I'm talking about the facts from that meeting, which I took an hour and a half to look at yesterday. So it's on YouTube, take a look. I'm saying you said one thing and now you're doing something else. And oh, by the way, the people up here that you're asking to vote, we report to Ms. Reinholz. We report to the community. That's who we represent. And so you haven't made the contact like you said you would. So I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm going to be voting no this evening.
All right. Is comments from anybody else? Councilman Tonneson.
Yeah, I understand delays. I understand zoning. I know where this is leading, but we have to take steps to get there. This is purely a zoning change. Will the engagement go on? Will the community, I mean, Mr. Dart, if we approve this zoning change, are you open for business tomorrow, or are there other steps to take?
Well, the only other step that we were waiting to be approved was the step from HUD and the subsidy layering review, which is anticipated to be done at the end of July. We are currently scheduling the community meetings in the month of August.
Okay, so I'll be
So-
supporting a zoning change, and then we'll see what happens down the road.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilman?
Yeah, I heard a lot tonight about how the homeless are there. The hotel is got a lot of turnaround. The proof of the matter is in some of these turnkeys that I've actually went and toured, and I work a lot with a lot of the population, it actually has shown that it cleans up the area. These are homeowners now. They're not transient anymore. They also start to, and I saw the plans on some of these other award-winning properties, and they cleaned them up quite a bit compared to what we have now. I was down there having dinner at the steakhouse over there, and it was pretty bad. And then I made some calls myself, and I think that this could be something that actually would help and clean up the area. And it's been proven to do that in Oakland and some of the other cities. I just wanted to put that out there, and I'll be voting for the zone change. Thank you.
Councilwoman Williams?
Thank you, Mayor. So I remember very clearly, Vice Mayor, how you talked about community engagement. And I remember, I'm a community engagement proponent as well. And I remember specifically feeling concerned that, even though this is a developer that does great work, they were out of town. And so, and could they really engage the community very clearly? And I feel let down. So my question is, and it might be more for you, Latan, what do we do to hold them accountable to get these community outreach done? I also feel very concerned that it is in August. It is well known in our industry that community engagement during the summer, the peak of the summer, is not ideal. So how can we hold them accountable to get this done?
Thank you, Latan Jones, Director of Housing Services. As a part of, we have loan agreements for this particular project, and as the applicant just indicated, the Home Key project does require the actual community engagement. Now, as a result of our loans loan requirements that we have on our project, we can make sure that that community engagement takes place in a robust way. Also, if there is not sufficient community engagement that would take place in August, let's just say because maybe we don't have the sufficient turnout, we can continue that community engagement to ensure that we are able to make sure that we have a robust enough community engagement that also includes turnout that would be sufficient in order to be able to incorporate everyone's opinions and some of their requests and otherwise. So we can do that as a result of us actually providing financing for the project. And then I also want to add, the other thing is that unfortunately, as a result of some of the different things that have taken place in the administration, the subsidy layering review for this project would have actually taken place much sooner. However, there has been substantial layoffs that have taken place in HUD, and so the actual time frame for them to be able to go through some of those processes have been substantially delayed. And then also with regard to the Home Key financing, that application process was extended as well. So there has been a number of different things that have actually taken place for this particular project.
Thank you. And so what does this community engagement going to look like? Like, will we have documentation of who was there? Will you have a comprehensive, we just got a bunch of emails from everywhere. We have people that came in and spoke. Is there a collection of a database that will be tapped into, so all the shareholders are in the room? And second part of that question is, what does that look like? People that are for, against, when they're saying they're against, is that documented so we can see what the concerns of the community is?
Yes. The community engagement encompasses two different things. One is a bit of a charrette that really talks about the design and some of the actual aspects of the project and what that will actually entail. Then it also requires people's opinions. Are they for or against and otherwise? And that information is taken in order to be able to ascertain what type of balance acts and mitigating acts and otherwise that could be put on the table in order to be able to resolve some of those issues. Some of them may not be resolved, and so we would have to report that information back. Now, when they're actually doing the community engagement, they always have to make sure that they're hitting businesses and homes and people that are within residence, at least within a mile radius of the overall project. So there will be information that is put out in order to try to solicit engagement from those that are within the area or vicinity of the project.
So, and I'm going to ask this directly because I love how you answered it before. I was concerned about, property management. You were like, nope, we are responsible. We will make sure that is not happening. We have our arms in this. There's contracts, da-da-da. Could we say the same, would you be able to make the same commitment for the outreach? If a shoddy job is being done, do you all have oversight to see this thing and make sure that it's done well?
We will make sure that we are engaged so that we can ensure that this community outreach is actually taking place. One of the things is that we want to make sure as a city and municipality that there is going to be sufficient engagement such that we can make sure that we have done everything we possibly can to make sure that this is a healthy project. Because as has been mentioned already, there is a lot of transient and otherwise that might be an area, and this project will have an opportunity to be able to clean some of that up because there's substantial community services, case managers and otherwise that would also be included in this project to try to make sure you're able to control some of those different things that could otherwise get out of place. So by having something that is more controlled at that site, it allows for things to be better rather than not addressing that.
No, I agree. The problem is the community doesn't know any of that because they haven't been engaged.
And that's why we will definitely make sure that that community engagement takes place. Yes.
Okay.
While Latan is there, can I ask one quick
Yes,
question?
go ahead, Councilwoman.
But the point, so what if we had the community engagement in August and the community, threw their hands up and said, we don't want this project for the reasons that all these people are sending us letters? Isn't that too late?
No, it's not too late because, as a council, you still will have to make final decisions on this project. As I indicated, we have loan agreements. If this project is awarded the actual home key financing, then there will be an acceptance agreement and otherwise associated with the project as well. So you still have an opportunity to be able to weigh in and say, okay, hey, the community doesn't support it, we don't support it as a council, or we still support it because of A, B, C, or D. So you still have the opportunity to be able to weigh in and pronounce your support for or against.
Okay, well, all I know is I wish this chamber were filled up tonight with residents who had an opportunity to weigh in on this, and so I thank you for the clarification. But the voters have not authorized me to do. The people who live in this community haven't been given an opportunity. So, yeah, no. But thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It's open, so step up, fill out a card, please. But it's open, so you have 2 minutes.
Thank you. I've been sitting here and watching, observing, listening. I really appreciate what you're doing, guys. Really, I'm impressed today. Pam, great job. I think I totally agree with you with what you're saying. It's absolutely necessary to do the community outreach and hear from people what they have to say. Being from your district, I support what you say, and thank you all for the rest of your commitments and comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Could you fill out a card? Are you going to? Okay.
Yes, and she,
Okay.
I filled one out for Deanna, and Michelle would like to speak now.
All right, Michelle, you've got 2 minutes.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name's Michelle. I guess I'm just throwing here real quick. I'm really excited. I did not know that this was even up for an option. This year, I had the ability and opportunity to work at a homeless shelter. I was the administrative intake coordinator, and I really know, and I'm listening to everybody speak. They're angry, all these individuals. They're individuals that are out here. I do numbers. Yeah, there is going to be some issues. There are going to be more activity, but people not understand. They get to be in a one space, and maybe out of 100 of them, 10 individuals will have a safe place to sleep, to shower, to then have the confidence to go get that job, to be a taxpayer, and to help this community. So I really just want everybody up here to take a minute to, yes, I understand people are upset. They don't want that in their community, but the other option is you go to the grocery store and these individuals are laying there because they have nowhere else to go. So I'm really excited to hear that this may be an option because yeah, and I'm very curious to want to know what my police department wants to do because they are going to be there. I know from experience there are going to be issues, but there are issues everywhere already. So please just take consideration to know that there will be places for these people to go now. Like, I'm just so excited to hear that this may be an option. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Councilman.
And also, I just would like to share that, you know, a lot of people know what I do. I've actually went and toured these places before and after, and I'm sure our housing authority will tell you the same thing. Here we are as a council and as a town, and we have a homeless problem. And so far, I've been here 3 years, and every time we come up with some kind of possible solution, it's mixed, and this is why things don't get done and nothing changes. These properties, I don't know if anybody on this dais has went to them and seen the before and after or not, okay? Unless you have done that, what we're voting on tonight is a zoning change, and you'll have an opportunity to do that before we make any other decisions. I think that it's important that we consider we have a problem and we have a possible solution for up to 90 people. I think that we have to take this into consideration. We're obligated for the whole town, not just the flower streets. We're obligated for all of the citizens in Fairfield, not just Tulip Drive. So we have to take all of this into consideration. But tonight, we're changing a zoning law. We're not voting on whether this place is going to be built or put into, we're going to get more information on this. And I just want to be clear about that. We're here to help solve problems, and not doing anything is not solving any problem. Thank you.
Thank you. No, sir, no. Yeah, I will close the public hearing. You've already spoken. No. All right, I have a few things to say. First of all, I appreciate what the vice mayor brought up. It tells me something about a company that makes promises and then doesn't follow through. So what does that leave us with other things down the road? Please. Okay. So we do not need to have businesses, and that's what it is. They're going to make a lot of money or they wouldn't be doing this, who can't do what they said they were going to do, number one. But I want to talk about a few little deeper things. First of all, on Vacaville, I went back and looked at the reasons why they turned it down. Very smart. They have their mayor is a former police chief. They know a little bit about this stuff. And they have a problem there too, but they aren't the county seat. So we have extra here. They turned it down, and another gentleman who sits on the city council is a law enforcement officer. He went and visited one of these, and what he saw turned his stomach. People hanging around outside, drugged out. Let's remember that this is housing first, which means that they legally can use drugs inside no matter what anybody says, unless you have somebody going in and out of their room. They can drink in there. They can do all those things. And that's allowed under housing first. So we aren't getting at the issue unless they have programming. And so they say they're going to, I don't know what to believe from anymore. So looking at Vacaville, I don't, it's not that I want to do everything that Vacaville does, but you have 2 law enforcement officers there, and I know both of them, and I like the way they think on this. It makes sense. It makes sense that we will have more people hanging around there. Yes, there are a lot of people there. Some of them may come in, but here's the other thing. Vacaville talked about this, and so I want to bring it up too. Their council said, we don't want people coming from out of Vacaville here. Can we keep it just to Vacaville? The law says no. We have to take all comers. So we could have somebody from San Francisco moving in. Why would we import more problems? Because we know from Shelter Inc. out there that has done nothing but bring problems to this city, period. We're having them now, and we've had them from the beginning. And I think it was a big mistake we built that place. And I took care of homeless people. I did this. And I understand deeply. I also understand deeply that if you don't do the way that we did, and that is get them off their drugs, get them mental health care, and keep them on it, you're done for. You have to get them off. This is not the program that's going to do it. And again, I don't know what to believe from the business folks anymore because of that. Now let's talk about the businesses. So all of a sudden, we have people sending us letters, calling, and I frankly don't know why the city hasn't had some, public engagement. We can do it. It's not just what the state wanted when they opened these places up. It's what do we want? Because we speak for the people. We work for the people. We need to listen to the people. And we haven't had a chance to do that yet. We've had a few people come in. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Unbelievable that they haven't done anything about that. Now, what about the TOT loss? Do we know what that is?
Off the top of my head, I don't know what the TOT loss is.
How about property tax loss?
Don't know off the top
Those
of my
are
head.
important to know. Okay, I appreciate that, but it is a loss to our budget, and we aren't into losing money. We're trying not to do that. These businesses, we heard from today, a 5th generation woman who is a business owner and has business up on North Texas Street, including some land up there. She's horrified about this. And this is a family who has been partners with us on other business things. We cannot say that we're going to be pro-business and then act like this. We can't do both things. we just can't do that. So those are just, and I've talked about some of these concerns before. I'm bringing them up again. I will vote no tonight. I understand it's just a change. I don't want it to be changed. And I do have a question of our police chief, if you don't mind, Chief. Did we get a septet on this thing, or will we?
We have not done a septed as of now. I'm imagining we will do one prior to anything.
Yeah? Can you explain to the public what that is?
Yeah, it's a program, it's crime prevention through environmental design. So the idea is to look at the building itself, look at the structuring, bushes, things that are set up so that it prevents crime. Shrubs are cut up or down to where people can't hide inside of them. There's the way the doors have certain peepholes so people can see out with safety. Sometimes it involves screen doors, depending if it's residential type situation. So yeah, we would definitely look probably at a septet, I would imagine, when the plans are all finalized.
Thank you very much, Chief. I appreciate it. That was a cold call, I know. And just one last thing. I did research on these places, and in some places, including in San Francisco, they have a 70% OD rate inside them. Death, 70% of the people that live in there, because it's housing first. No, I don't think we need to be part of that. And then we hear news like Mercury News saying how bad they are because of habitability, drug ODs, drug use, theft, and all those things to surrounding businesses. So that's all. That's all I'm going to say. I know that some of my colleagues are tired of hearing about it, and I'm going to bring it back for a vote if somebody wants to make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve staff's recommendation to approve the zoning change.
Second.
All right. We'll do a roll call, please.
And it's a yes, no.
Yes is to approve the resolution, no is to not approve the resolution.
Okay, Councilmember Carr,
Yes.
Councilmember Santu,
Yes.
Councilmember Tonneson,
Yes. Yes.
Councilmember Patrice Williams,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Bertani,
No.
and Mayor Moy.
No. All right. That was
it's
approved
4-2.
4-2. Thank you, everybody. And this is, I'm going to close down the meeting, and we'll see you next time.